Okay, so I have here a way to install OMOD using Mod Organizer. I actually just stumbled upon this when I was trying to do this. The guides online, I'm sure there's one that uses this method, but the guides I found online have you basically run Mod Manager, which I have right here, and open up the OMOD, and then they have you install it manually, pretty much selecting the options you want through Mod Organizer's tool, which is actually, I feel it's a little clunky. So this way I have here is, in my opinion, it's a lot easier. And there is one downside to it though, and I will get into that later, so make sure you pay attention to the video as opposed to just kind of like gloss over it. So I'll be installing HGEC body, which is an OMOD for this. And I'm going to open up my Oblivion data folder here. You're going to want to install Oblivion Mod Manager, and I generally have it in my Oblivion folder anyway, which is actually right here. So I would recommend installing it there. And take a look at my data folder. You can see that it is empty here, besides what the game puts in there by default. And obviously that's one of the huge draws to using Mod Organizer, is just a clean data folder and being able to go ahead and customize your mods on the fly. So once you have Oblivion Mod Manager installed, and obviously you're going to want Oblivion Mod Organizer installed. If you're new to Mod Organizer, I would really recommend watching Gopher's videos. He has a huge series, and it's actually a pretty long watch, but it's definitely worth it, and you'll know it pretty much inside and out once you're done watching the videos. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend just diving into it here. But anyway, you're going to want to open up Mod Organizer here. And here I have Oblivion Mod Manager as a shortcut. If you don't have that, you're going to want to add it, so I'll just remove it for now. And to do that, you just go to Binary here, click that box, open up Mod Manager, and I'm going to name it Alright. And make sure Close Mod Organizer when started is unchecked, and then click Add. Alright, so you're going to want to make sure that your overwrite folder is clean. Now there's a chance that it may already have some files in it, and they may just be log files. So let me X out of here because I don't have any of those for Oblivion, but I have some in Skyrim. Now I'll scroll down here to my overwrite folder, and you might have something under your plugins folder for the script extender. Every time you run the game, sometimes some certain mods generate log files, and you can't really get rid of them. They'll keep generating and they'll keep going to your overwrite folder. So you can either delete them or drag them to an already existing mod, or you can just go ahead and ignore them. So I'm going to close out of Skyrim Mod Organizer here. And like I said, I'm going to be installing HGEC body. So right now on my desktop, actually let me do it on my mods folder since I have my mods folder right here. I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call it HGEC body. And I'm going to go ahead and name it after the character I'm installing it for. So DM, character's name is Dorcas Manglius because I like stupid names. And once I've created that folder, I'm going to right click it and add it to an archive by the same name. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and minimize out here. And I'm going to open up Oblivion Mod Organizer. And from here, I'm going to want to make sure I have Oblivion Mod Manager selected, and I'm going to click Run. Okay, you can see here that I have Robert's Mail Body Replacer installed, and I actually have two separate OMOD installations, and that is really important. That's a drawback to this. Once you install a certain OMOD using Mod Manager, when you go ahead and uninstall it, it actually won't close out. So say I were to uninstall Robert's Mail Body Replacer and go deactivate and exit out, it would tell me that it's looking for a certain file and it can't find it. And when I clicked OK on the error message, it would just put me back here, and it's actually just this never-ending loop. So what you actually have to do is you have to kill the Mod Manager process through your task manager here, which is a pain in the butt. So once you install an OMOD, leave it installed through Mod Manager, and just go ahead and deactivate and activate it through your Mod Organizer menu here. Now, if you want to install the same mod with different settings for different characters, I'll get into that later, but just keep in mind now that you do not want to uninstall an OMOD from Mod Manager when you're doing this. So like I said, we're going to be installing HGEC body, so I'm going to go ahead and load that OMOD up. Is this what yeah, this is what I want here. So I'm going to load that up, and I'm going to click activate. And I'm going to go ahead and select all the options I want. Okay, so if it does pop up with something like this, and it's going to say is not associated with an OMOD and it already exists, go ahead and overwrite it. Keep overwriting whatever is there. You don't really have to worry about it actually overwriting. There we go. Okay, so once you've done that, you can go ahead and exit out of it. And you'll see here an error message pops up, and it's going to tell you there are files in your overwrite mod. And those are actually the files for the mod we just added. It sticks them in your overwrite folder. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add a mod from file. And we're going to go ahead and locate that archive that we just created, which I think I named HGEC body. That's one. This is what I want here. And it's going to tell you no game data on top level. Right click it and click select data directory. And I'm going to go ahead and make sure it's named correctly here. Then click OK. It's going to tell you that it's not set up correctly. Don't worry about it. Just click ignore. And you can see here it's kind of grayed out and italicized, which you don't have to worry about either, because right now we're just going to double click our overwrite folder. And like I said, if you have log files that generate automatically in your overwrite folder, you're just going to want to ignore them. But you're going to want to take everything that HGEC body added and drag it over to that. And you can see here it's emptied out now, so I'm going to close this out. I'm going to activate HGEC body. Multiple ESPs activated. You don't really have to worry about that. This just actually has multiple ESPs to it. From there, you're all set, and you have the mod installed. It's actually still grayed out here, so let me close out Oblivion Mod Organizer and reopen it. Here you go. So you can go ahead and run the game just fine, and it will be installed. But again, if you're going to want to go ahead and install HGEC body for a different character with different settings, you're going to want to do it a particular way. So I'm going to show you how to do that here. So I'm going to just minimize Mod Organizer, and I'm going to go ahead and locate the HGEC body OMOD, which is somewhere around here. Where is it? There it is. So what I'm going to want to do with the OMOD is right click on and create a new OMOD by a new name. Copy it and name it. I'm just going to name it. I'm going to install this for my other character. So I'm going to name it OrcDerp. That is his name. I said I like stupid names. So yeah. And when I have that there, I'm just going to go ahead and actually, since I'm in here, I can create a new folder like we did with the original HGEC we installed for Dorcas Manglius. And I'm going to name it OrcDerp, and I'm going to right click it and add it to an archive by that name. Now I can go back to Mod Organizer and run Oblivion Mod Manager again, but what I'm wanting to do before that is I'm going to uncheck HGEC body that I have installed for Dorcas Manglius. I'm going to go over to OrcDerp's profile, and then from there I'm going to run Oblivion Mod Manager. And if you just leave it, if you leave yourself on your other character's profile, don't uncheck it, it kind of gets funky, so you're just going to want to go ahead and do what I did there. So from here I can go ahead and load my new OMOD that we just created, OrcDerp. And we double click it, and it's going to go ahead and run the same setup. And for the purposes of this, I'm just going to select some different options. So install body textures, yes. And again, it's going to tell you some files already exist. Don't worry about it. because it's not actually overwriting anything in your data folder. I'm going to go there in a second and show you that it's all clean. Okay, so I have that installed, so I can exit out here. And now I'll go ahead and activate that version. Actually, yeah. Sorry, I forgot about that. I'm going to go ahead and add the mod now. That's for orgderp. And again, actually get the name right here. There we go. Right click it, set data directory. It's going to tell you that it's not set up correctly. Don't worry about it. Open up our overwrite folder, take these files and drag them to the mod. Right there. Close out our overwrite folder and activate this. So you can see here I have a different installation of HGEC body for this character in Mod Manager and in Mod Organizer here, and I have it activated. Let me activate this again there. And that's actually pretty much it. Let me show you my data directory here and show you that refresh this. And normally, if I actually had these installed, if Mod Manager did install these physically in the data directory, it'd have a meshes folder and different textures and stuff. So yeah, that's, in my opinion, the easiest way to go ahead and install OMODs using Oblivion Oblivion Mod Organizer and Oblivion Mod Manager together. It's not the most elegant of methods, but it is, in my opinion, better than going ahead and extracting the OMOD to an archive and then adding that archive to Mod Organizer and then manually dragging files and folders in certain areas to, mirror the way you want it, which is a pain in the ass, which I can actually show you now. I'm going to do that for Robert's male body here, and I'll show you why I don't like doing that. So what they ask you to do is extract, what a lot of people say you should do is extract the OMOD to an archive, which I've already done here. And from here I have to do a manual installation, and you can see here that I basically have to configure it myself, which is, with a mod like Robert's male body, which has like several different options, it's a pain in the butt. So that's why I don't like doing it that way. So I'm going to cancel it there. So yeah, I do hope this helped, and thanks for watching.